Welcome, everyone, to our Wednesday call. Today, we're going to talk about the placebo effect, which is really interesting. And I hope that you'll all join me in this conversation because we're going to have a kind of a funny conversation about this and how animals use the placebo effect on us. We're the most susceptible for placebo effects. So let's just get that right out there. Humans are the most susceptible. But before I get started, I want to tell you about next week. Justin Stein is going to be joining me, and I am so excited because Justin Stein is one of the foremost Reiki experts in the world. So it's a huge honor to have him here. And whether you know anything about Reiki or not, it's going to be a really interesting conversation because Justin is going to talk about the history. He's going to talk about some early uses of Reiki with animals with Mrs. Takata. And I think he has another example. And then he just I think he did the translation or the editing for a book that came out that was one of Asui's original students. And it's really interesting what they said about the Reiki energy and about nature. So I'm hoping that he'll talk a little bit about that as well. So next week, if you can't make it, just be sure to register. I don't know if we're going to do a special giveaway or something, so you'd want to be in on that. But also, I would just register because if you're interested in hearing more about what Justin is doing, and I know he doesn't send a lot of emails, so it's not like you're going to get on his email list and get bombarded. But Justin is such a great resource for all things Reiki. And I know we've heard a little bit about this from Nicholas, and Nicholas and Justin are actually really good friends. And Nicholas, thank you, Nicholas. Nicholas is the one that kind of made this possible for us to have Justin here. So I'm really excited about that. So I hope that you will use the registration link in the emails that we send out and register because we might be giving away, I'm not sure what for Justin, but we might be giving something away, and we would only give it away to the people who are actually registered. So be sure to do that. And yeah, we're going to have a really fun time next week. And so Kelly's just joined the call. Darlene, see Darlene in forever. And Sharon too. Welcome, guys. So I'm really hoping Kelly will come next week and help me co-host. And hopefully Kathleen Prasad will be joining us as well. So it should be a really fun, informative call. And if you've ever wanted to know the real history of Reiki, then this is about as close as you can get. So let's get into what we're going to talk about today. And that's the placebo effect. So we all kind of know about the placebo effect for humans and how that works, right? They'll do a lot of different, like when they do clinical trials, they'll give some people the real pill or the real injection, and then other people will get just a saline or a sugar pill, right? And it's really amazing how even people with the medicine that's not even effective at all will get better. And I know you all have heard those stories of people who have been told that, oh, this pill is going to cure, whatever it is, let's just say cancer. This pill is going to cure your cancer. And then they start to get better, right? And I think that Dr. Joe shares one of these stories where the person started to get better. The doctor said, okay, I'm just going to tell him that this treatment is really effective and they're finding a really great use for it and it's going to cure him. And so the doctor gave it to his patient and the patient started to get better, but it was just basically a sugar pill. And then a study came out saying that medication didn't do anything and the guy started to get sick again. So the doctor said, oh no, they have a new thing. And it's actually better. So you can comfortably take this and it's going to help you get better and healthier, right? And so he did. And then another, article came out saying it was completely ineffective, this one medicine, and it wasn't proving helpful at all. And he ended up dying. And what that says to us is that it says that our mind is completely susceptible to what it's being told. And we know this from commercials, right? You see all the time, like you hear it, like when little kids, you're not clean unless you're zestfully clean, or, there's all kinds of different things that we pick up and we start to put them in our head that, oh yeah, this is truth because that's what advertising says, or that's what my doctor says, or whatever that is, we take it as truth. And that's why it's always a sad situation when a doctor tells a patient there's no hope or you only have this long to live, because if we don't hear that and we think that there's possibility, then we're going to expand on that possibility, right? We're not going to limit ourselves. But when we're given limiting beliefs, a lot of times we glom onto them. So when COVID hit, we all know Reiki practitioners, and there's, I don't even know how many Reiki practitioners there are in the world, but there's probably at least 100,000. And we have COVID, and the Reiki practitioners aren't curing COVID, right? So you're thinking, okay, are they not healers then because they can't heal what's happening with COVID? What is the truth in healers, and what's the non-truth? Well, there's like truth in everything, right? So if I had COVID, well, I did have COVID really bad, and I did get Reiki. But I think the Reiki treatments actually helped the severity of my COVID, even though I had it really bad. I wasn't hospitalized, and probably should have been, but I divert. But what happens is everyone is on their own healing path. So if I believe, Darlene's a Reiki practitioner, she gives me Reiki. And if I believe Darlene is the most amazing Reiki practitioner, then chances are I'm going to feel really good after that session. But if I'm getting Reiki and I truly don't believe that it's going to work, even though I might even believe in Reiki, let's say I'm just like, oh, Darlene's never going to cure this COVID. I'm in too much pain. This is too, I'm reading all of the news. I'm hearing all these stories. I'm never going to get better. It's our mindset that keeps us either sick or creates health. We're all on our own individual path. That's why like one medicine might work great for one person and one might not work well for another person. So that's kind of like the human placebo effect, right? But really what it comes down to is our minds, our mindset, what we truly believe. If we believe we're going to get healed, chances are we'll probably get healed. If we believe we're going to get sicker, chances are we probably will get sicker. But with animals don't, the placebo effect doesn't work on them because they're in the present moment and they don't have the worrying thoughts that we do. They don't have, I wouldn't say they don't have that capability because they're very intelligent, but they don't go to that place of, oh, is this going to work? Oh, she's giving me this good food. Is this good food going to make me healthy? They don't think in those terms. Everything's just present moment. I'm eating, I feel better, good, right? But with animals, what's really interesting is that animals use a placebo effect on us. So what they are doing, and I have a couple really cute little videos to kind of demonstrate this, but what animals do to us, and it's really quite funny, is they make us believe something is happening, right? So I remember I had this little disabled, she was like a pocket pit. She was a little tiny little part pit bull and something else. And she was disabled. She had some neurological disease that made her shake when she walked, and she didn't have a lot of strength. But when she wanted to be strong, that little girl could push her way through anything. But she loved to play helpless. Like she would go to get on the couch, and she could military crawl up that couch any other day of the week. But if she wanted us to feel sorry for her or give her lots of attention, mostly my ex-partner, Michael, he was a big fool for her. She would like go to get on the couch, and then she would fall. And then she would just lay there like, I can't get up. And so Michael, of course, would pick her up and be, oh my gosh, are you okay? Are you all right? And it was this whole big thing. And of course, she was all right. And of course, she could, but she loved to do that to him. That was her little placebo effect. Oh, he sees me fall down, and immediately I get sympathy. He feels bad. He holds me. He sits on the couch with me. I get all this attention and I feel better, right? So it's not really the classic placebo effect, but it is what animals do to us. So I'm going to show you some really cute, let me see if I can share my screen here. I want to show you two. One of them's so funny. I love this video so much. And this is just kind of a diversion because I want to share this. Let's see. Let's share my, oh, not documents. I want screens. Okay, there we go. All right, so share the screen. Okay, so you can see my screen, and let's go here to this. Go to this one first. And so you could see the dog here, and I'll turn on the sound for you so you can.
Harry.
Oh my God, sorry.
Harry got a bad fall. Can't go for a walk. No walk.
Wait, let me start this. Sorry, guys, it got all thrown off. My computer's having so many problems here. Here we go. I won't make it big.
Where's Harry? Harry got a bad fall. Can't go for a walk. No walk. Harry can't walk like that. Yeah, your fall's better now, eh? Yeah, can't go no walk. Where's your leash? Very nice. Oh, they got leash. That's got collar on it, too.
And you can tell his legs are completely healthy. And I wanted to show you because when he grabs the leash, you know the collar, because the collar is heavy, you know that he is completely healed. But this one is the funniest one. I love this one so much. And I know you've probably seen this one.
I've got a treat for animals. This is a tip that went pretty big this year. And it's very hard to explain. I don't know what's happening here. If any of you know, please tell me. This is a squirrel. We don't know why, but it decides to pretend to be dead. You might have seen this. Oh. So it's a big squirrel. It's a squirrel. Now it's knocked over the brush, and it's obviously thinking, oh, I might get in trouble. Someone might be going to get in trouble. I know what I'll do. I'll pretend that the brush has fallen on me No, not yet. Something's coming. Here we go.
Sorry about that. I am just having technical. I'm just going to blame it on Mercury retrograde right now. I'm having the worst technical difficulties. Yeah, Darlene. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to share that our dog Skip used to do the same thing. It's like whenever he was feeling neglected, it's like we never neglected him, but he would get that feeling. It's like he would start limping on his hind foot. And the first time he did it, it's like, oh my gosh, we rushed him to the vet, thought maybe he hurt it, and the vet did x-ray. It's like there's nothing wrong with them. So he'd continue to do it several other times, and it's like, oh, you're just faking it. And sometimes it's like he would forget which one hurt because he'd be limping on one, and then 2 minutes later he's limping on the other one. It's like, okay, dude. So yeah, he was so funny that way.
And it's I love that you said that you would forget which foot was hurt, because I've seen videos like that too, where the dog or the cat forgets which foot is hurt, so they just kind of go not sure. But anyway, I know, I love that. But that's what these animals are doing to us, right? They're giving us the reverse placebo effect. But what we have to be careful of as animal Reiki practitioners, or as people who are offering any type of service to animals, that the placebo effect and the mindset effect can work negatively for you. And I was talking to Taya Strom about this the other day. She's, the animal communication teacher and expert. She's a medium and psychic, and she was saying that, it's all in your belief, right? So if you go in and you're thinking to yourself, oh, this isn't going to work, the animal Reiki is not going to work, or the animal communication is not going to work, or whatever modality you're doing, and you're already saying, oh, I don't think it's going to work, then right there, you're setting yourself up where it's not going to work. And that's why in the Let Animals Lead method, we always talk about just seeing the animal's perfection, about just sitting with the animal and meditating. When you do that, when you go and you just sit with the animal and you meditate and you bring your energy into a calm, peaceful state, you're letting go. One, you're letting go of all worry, you're letting go of any anxiety or fears you might have, and you're just sitting in a peaceful state. And what that does is it not only helps you and then helps the animal connect, but it also takes away all of the responsibility of trying to heal or fix. When we're just sitting in that space with an animal and just having a peaceful connection, that's all it is. We're present, we're here, we're mindful, and we're connected with them. That is what truly heals. It's not us going, okay, I'm going to do something, I'm going to be beaming, or I'm going to be, putting symbols and mantras. And in fact, being a human Reiki practitioner and using all the tools that work with humans can actually backfire when you go to sit with an animal. Because if you're especially a shut down animal, an animal that might be fearful of humans, and if you're sitting there and you're looking at them and you're beaming energy to a certain spot on their body, or you're putting symbols and mantras, or you're just thinking about the problem, right? So you say, okay, this animal has stress. So in your mind, you're thinking about the problem. That all creates distance and barriers between you and the animal. And in that space, it's really hard for an animal to connect with you because you've got worry and fear. So that's an energy that's not comfortable. You're also projecting towards them, and that's invasive, right? So a shut down, distrustful animal is going to immediately back up and be like, no, I don't want to connect with you. This doesn't feel good to me. So when we're thinking about, this placebo effect, we have to think about it. We know it is in a certain way, but we also have to think about the reverse of that, the negative side of the placebo effect, and what happens when we allow ourselves to think and feel a certain way when we go and sit with an animal. And so if I'm just a regular human Reiki person and I go in and I do all those human things with the animal, I'm not going to get the response I want. Just like I was just saying, let animals lead. It's the exact opposite. And there's a reason for that, because we don't want to take responsibility for anything, because as I said earlier, everyone is on their own healing path. So if everyone is on their own healing path, and I just come in and I'm sitting and I'm not expecting anything, no healing, no nothing, I'm just holding space, that's really healing in itself. And it's all like contradictive, right? It's like, well, wait a minute. The less I do, the more powerful it is. That makes zero sense. Because as humans, we want to do, right? We want to change things. We want to fix things. But what happens in that space of fixing is that we let our egos get involved. Now we've let ourselves decide what's right, what's wrong for this animal. And we don't know exactly what's right or wrong for the animal. So if we can just go and sit, now that animal in that beautiful just space of you just being, you're not expecting anything from them. In that space, now they can go, oh, okay, I can relax. And in a relaxed state, an animal can actually heal. So then what will happen is, in the let animals lead way, what will happen there is that you'll just be sitting with an animal, and maybe they are really distrusting of humans. They don't ever come up to humans. You're just sitting there meditating, and all of a sudden the animal comes up to you. Maybe the horse puts its head in your, in your chest. Maybe the dog comes and lays next to you. Maybe, an animal gets into your lap. That is healing for them, but you're doing nothing. You're just sitting there. So you're like the sugar pill, right? You're just sitting there doing nothing. You have like zero effect on anything, seemingly, right? You're just there, but yet your energy is so incredibly powerful. And what happens is things start to shift. Big time things shift. And if you're, like I've told you about this many, many times, we go to care and we all are meditating together, everything gets quiet, not just the animals, but the wild birds, even like the neighbors around, everything, neighborhood dogs, everything gets quiet because in that space, peace is more powerful than anything else you can possibly do. So I just wanted to kind of use the placebo effect to kind of like highlight how when we want to fix, we want to cure, we want to heal, it can actually backfire against us because it's the ego that gets involved. Now, human Reiki, I'm not saying it's not great for humans because it is, because humans need that, right? So if, again, I'll use Darlene for an example. If Darlene comes to my house to give me a session and she brings like, crystals, and she brings maybe singing bowls, and she brings all this stuff, all of these things are going to work together to make you feel better. Then already I'm starting to feel better. Oh, okay, she's got all of these tools. Oh my gosh, she's really prepared. So now my mindset is, oh, this is really going to work. And I'm already open and I'm already accepting of what she's going to give to me. So already I'm like halfway healed just because I'm open to it and my mindset is in the positive, right? But on the flip side of that, if I didn't believe in it, she comes with all this stuff, I'd say, none of this is going to work. And the opposite can happen. But that's humans, right? We put so much thought into what is being presented to us, where animals don't put a lot of thought into it. They go off of exactly what's being presented to them. So if I come and sit with an animal and I just start meditating and I say, I don't want anything from you. It's up to you whether or not you want to connect with me or not. I'm open to whatever you want out of this session. And then I go inward. That's completely different. Now the animal's like, oh, okay, wait, she's not asking anything of me. She's not focused on anything. She's not, because they can pick up our thoughts and our energy. It's like, there's no negativity here. There's only peace. And actually her energy is getting more and more peaceful. That's interesting. And now there's trust. It's like, well, okay, she's not even, maybe, because we always tell people don't face the animal if you don't know it, especially. So we're not even facing the animal. And it's a very passive position. And now the animal can connect and feel comfortable and feel trusting, and everything shifts in that space. But again, we're not doing anything except for focusing on ourselves and our own energy. And the animals, that's what they're responding to. So the let animals lead method is so effective because of all the things we don't do, right? Because of all the things we don't bring into these sessions. You just come into the session as yourself, as you are. Talk about vulnerability, right? Oh, I have to go sit with an animal and be completely vulnerable, completely be myself and just be. That's really hard to do, which is why we encourage you to take classes, because you learn how to do this. You learn all the tools on how to do this. But, how long have I been doing this now? And Kelly, feel free to unmute if you want to add to this. Kelly and I have been doing this for, I think I've been doing it for 18 years now. And you still feel vulnerable when you go and sit with an animal. I know Kelly did Reiki with the elephants and talk about vulnerability. That's really vulnerable. And you want a response, right? Right. Especially when people are watching you, right? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Kelly. I think that makes it, that's the hardest part. Like I feel more comfortable sitting with the animal and just being, but if there's somebody around, there's always, especially, I'm better about it. And I have to keep reminding myself that I am not working for them. I am not working on them. I am not doing a session for them, really. I mean, they can obviously be invited in, but it's really hard to let go of the ego part and not want an outcome that this is going to be something that they'll actually see. And, you go the first time and a lot of times nothing really obvious is going to happen.
Right.
And then the person's watching the whole thing. And I always just am like, you're welcome to sit and do some breathing with me. And then you're going to watch me meditate. So I'm like, it's really boring for you, but you're welcome to sit and enjoy it and be part of it.
Well, and I thank you for answering that, because actually Alice had a question, she said, or a statement. She said, sometimes it's hard to resist the pressure the animals, human caretakers bring with their expectations that you will heal their animal.
Right.
Yeah. And which is why
it's a lot of pressure.
Well, and which is why we can't, we're not there to heal. We're there to help support the animal's healing. And I think that that's a big difference. That's a big shift. You're not there to heal. You can't heal. And that's what I would say. I mean, that's what I do say. I'm not a healer. I can't heal.
Yeah, I talk to them before I even go. Like, this is what happened, what it's like, and you may or may not see anything happen during the session. That's normal, so they sort of lower their expectations before I even get there.
Yeah, exactly. But also at the same time, encouraging them, saying like, look, your animal is going to choose whether or not they're going to accept. That's one thing. And two, they're going to decide whether or not they're going to relax. And if they're relaxed, then they can heal, or what's going to happen. And it might not even be, and you've seen this, Kelly, might not even be the thing you go to support, just animal. The problem that they see might not even be the problem that gets healed.
Yeah. And the thing that's also interesting is the reverse can happen, where because I don't know the animal very well, I'm just meeting the animal, I'm not picking up on nuances that the person's picking up on. And so to me, it may feel like, well, it didn't seem like anything obvious was happening. I could feel the energy flowing. And then they're just like, oh, he never does this. And that's something new. And I've never seen him do that before. So it can work both ways. It's really interesting.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important just to let go, because if you're in your mind thinking it has to look like this is what a successful session looks like, you've already set yourself up for failure, because every session is different, right?
Yeah. And I mean, you can see the same dog 5 times in a row and have 5 different sessions.
Yeah, because it's really their mood, what they're feeling. And if they feel comfortable, I mean, anything could happen. But again, we can affect the outcome of this session, just like a sugar pill or the real medicine, by our mindset. What are we thinking? How are we feeling? What are we doing with our energy? And what are our expectations? Because that can affect the outcome of the session, and sometimes negatively. And so Janice said, I found it so helpful to explain to the parents that it's pretty boring, so they know they won't normally be seeing anything remarkable. Oh my God, that's funny, Janice. I like that. We can all tell everybody.
It's boring what we do. But, something that you were just saying, Leah, about the, check, what are our expectations and stuff. Those are things I continually ask myself through the session. My expectations creeping in here, am I getting, caught up in what the person's noticing or not noticing? So I have to keep like monitoring myself through the session to make sure I'm not getting off track.
Oh, absolutely. I think that, it's like you were saying, before you go in, you have to just really check in with yourself, and then sit. And every time something comes up, you just have to say, I'm going to put it in a box, put it away, or you're just going to let it go by and go, no, that's not what's happening right now.
Yeah, it's like going back to the breath with, try to keep yourself focused.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and the breath is one of our most powerful tools in the Let Animals Lead method, is like, and it's why we do, when we do meditations here, and we'll do one today too, because I think we'll have lots of time, but always focusing on your breath, always focusing on that. Okay, just bring yourself back. Just bring yourself back, because when your breath slows, your mind slows. So if you can match your mind to your breath, everything starts to slow down. And now you have less thoughts, you feel more relaxed, and then you can sit with the animal. And also in that state, you can start to feel like what you were saying, Kelly, you can feel the energy flowing, right? This complete energetic exchange going on, but you can't feel that energetic exchange when you're up here in your head saying, oh my gosh, I don't know if that's working. Oh, the parents are staring at me, blah, blah, blah. And it's hard to find that balance, because we're all insecure on some level. I don't care who you are. you're going to go into that session when there's somebody else in the room with a little bit of insecurity. And you just have to remind yourself, I'm here for the animal. I'm here for the animal. It doesn't matter what the person thinks, because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what the person thinks. What matters is how the animal feels. And the only way we can make the animal feel supported and trusting is for us just to let go. But that's really hard. So yeah, I don't know if you want to say more on that, Kel.
No, I think, I guess the one thing I would say is that, every session is different, and how we appear in each session can be different, even from day to day. We may go in and be like, oh, this was a great session last time with this animal, and then we're like tense about it, and is it going to go well, and that stuff starts building up again. But just bringing that last precept, being compassionate to ourselves and recognizing we're going to make mistakes and it's going to be tricky sometimes, but we just keep showing up for the animal with love and compassion and kindness, and we should be fine. And intention.
Intention, exactly. And so, oh God, and I just lost my whole train of thought about going back to the placebo. Oh, going back to the placebo effect. So here's the thing about animals. Animals are going to be either I accept it or I don't. There's no like, well, I'll accept it and maybe I'll kind of get better, or maybe I'll, it's just is or it isn't. And what I mean by that is that if an animal truly wants to connect and relax and let go, they will. And if they don't, they won't. There's not, unless it's your own animal and that's different, or animals, but when it's strange animals or wild animals, it just either is or it isn't. There's no in between. There's no wishy-washiness, because they either trust you or they don't trust you. And how they act, I mean, so like, for instance, the crows that I have a relationship with down here on the waterfront, they trust me, but they don't trust me. It's not like they get close to me, closer than they would other people, but there is a level of distrust because I'm a human. But I can tell that their level of trust is a huge level of trust. And so you have to also be aware and meet animals where they are. So if an animal even gives you a little bit of trust, that might be all that they have to give to you. And so don't judge how much you're getting or what that view is, or how they're reacting as, oh, well, they don't trust me. If they give you any small sign, that's a sign of trust. When we were at Nama Stables and the little baby calves were there, especially the new one that had just come, they were very shy and very hesitant, but they were giving little signs of acceptance, just, stopping and staring and not running off, or just taking one small step towards us. Those were all small signs of acceptance. And so when you get those, you can say, okay, this is working, and just go inward. You don't have to worry that it's a big demonstration of acceptance, because with animals, it either is or it isn't. And, and yes, they're going to trust you, but once they have that trust, the trust doesn't go away unless you do something, right? But the trust is there. So by the end of the weekend, the baby cows were coming up and they were interacting and they were letting us touch them, and they were like going in and out of us, and they came more up to the front and they started laying with the big pigs, which they hadn't been doing at all. And so it was in that space of us expecting nothing and just meditating and holding space, everything switched and changed for them. But there was no like, okay, yeah, I believe this is going to be good for me, and so I'll do it. Oh, but maybe not. Maybe this is bad for me. Oh, but maybe this is good for me. There's no wishy-washiness. They just are. So Nancy says, it's hard to let go of what the humans think, especially when they are paying you, or in the case of shelters or other non-profits allowing you access. So again, Nancy, I think this goes back to how we talk about it, how we talk about what we do. And what I found through my different experiences is that they appreciate the honesty of, this is what this is and this is what this is not. And the animal may accept and the animal may not, but also explaining to them the subtleties of this practice and the subtleties of animals. So again, that's why we have these calls, right? So we can give you many different ways that you can talk to people and approach people with this. We aren't healers. I think that in itself is very powerful because it puts people at ease, especially nonprofits and shelters, right? You're saying, I'm not a healer. Oh, okay, good. Because, you know, because that sets a whole thing. Oh, are you going to heal my animals? What are you going to do? Are you going to hurt my animals? That's another thing. When we say heal, sometimes some people think, well, that could hurt my animal. What are you going to do? How are you going to do this? Is it going to make my animal uncomfortable? You know, there's all these questions. But when we say immediately, we're not healers. We're just here to meditate. And when we meditate, our energy becomes calm. And when our energy is calm, the animals can then feel calm around us. And maybe they decide, oh, I'm going to connect. But it's really important to set expectations, like Kelly was saying, you know, explain it in detail. This is what a typical session looks like, but also explain to them, your animal doesn't know me. Your animal may not trust me. So the first session, not much may happen. And sometimes the first session, a lot happens, but you just set up the expectations. And if you feel like, well, because I used to do this, like I feel like, okay, well, I'll just do one session, pay for one session, and I'll do 3 distant. And then if you like, you know, at the end of the 3 distance, then you could tell me what you feel and if you felt anything happen. And 9 times out of 10, and I say, because I think there was one person, this was years ago, that didn't respond maybe, but they say, oh, wow, yeah, my dog quit barking at the window, or, you know, my cat is now coming out more. And, you know, my cat's more social, or my cat isn't fighting with the other sibling, or, you know, my dog is much more relaxed around people, whatever that is. And again, Reiki isn't a one and done. You know, this is just like anything. You can go to therapy for a couple sessions and feel really good about yourself. And then for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks, you're good, but you need a boost again. Just like going to get a massage. You go to get a massage, you come out, you feel really relaxed, and maybe even by the next day, you're tense and you're uptight. So it's the same with Animal Reiki. It's not a one and done. This isn't, and again, we're not healers. We're just helping to support the animal's emotional state. That's really it, because a lot of their issues are coming from their own inner emotions. I know at shelters, we go into shelters because, like we've said this many times before, animals have food, water, enrichment, medical attention. They're getting care and love from the people there, but their emotional needs might not be might not, God, they might not be met. And so what we're there to do is to help the animal feel safe. How do we do that? We sit with the animal. We let go of all of our own stuff, because this isn't about us. It's about them. And we just sit and hold space. And when we're calm and we hold space and we have no expectations, then they start to feel relaxed. They start to feel calm. And then what happens with animals is that they remember, it's like, oh yeah, this is my natural state. That's their natural state. That's our natural state as well, but are so far from that natural state because of how we're raised and the world we live in. We aren't taught to be in tune to our feelings, to be in touch with nature, to be in touch with the flow of things naturally, right? We live with our phones, we live with electronics, we live with other people. We're very numb to that, but animals aren't. So when we get into that meditative space, we help them to then remember, oh yeah, this is who I am at my core. This piece is me naturally. This is what I normally feel. But the more animals are around people, the more they start to lose touch with that as well. So, you know, from the little videos and from Darlene's story, you can tell it's like the more animals are around us, they start to really zoom in on human emotions and how to affect those emotions, right? But the same can go for us. So I think I've told you guys this story. I just told it to Taya's group the other day. But, you know, we had a dog named Leo, and my partner at the time, Michael, he and I had differing political beliefs, and we would get in arguments about this. And we noticed that Leo would get colitis after the arguments, like not right after, but like within a few hours, his stomach would just go south and it would just be a bloody mess. It was horrible. And we thankfully quickly started to go, oh, whoa, he's stressed. So then what I would do is I would take Leo into the next room. I'm not a healer, but we healed this, but it wasn't me that healed it. It was him that healed it. We'll go take him into the office. I would do silly things with him. I'd play with him. I'd talk silly. I'd put on music. We'd dance because he loved to dance with me and hold his paws and we'd dance in a circle and he loved it. And he would be so happy, you know, for a half an hour, he and I, just us, because we had 2 other dogs at the same time. And it would be Leo. And then that's it. Leo didn't have upset stomach. But I had to do it, you know, pretty soon after the fight so that he didn't sit and feel stressed, because they soak up what we're putting out, right? It's all energy. And so even though I'm not a healer, I didn't heal him, but I did make him sick. I'm not a healer. I didn't heal him because he healed himself, right? I helped him with his energy, with his like how he was feeling about me being upset, about Michael being upset. He was more concerned about me, not so much about Michael, but how that helped him shift it, right? And again, no placebo effect, right? It either is or it isn't. So with him, he just started to feel better and his stomach issues would go away. And that was really powerful. And it made such an impression on me because it's just a reminder how strong our energy is and how deeply it affects animals, and how we really have to be mindful about our energy and what we're bringing to animals, whether we're going to sit with them in a session or whether we're just living with them, right? And our energy is negative or we're angry or we're upset, how that then they can start to absorb that, and then they start to physically react to it. So they can physically react to the calm space. They can physically react to the negative space too. So, you know, with them, it's very pure what is happening. There just isn't a placebo effect with them. But with us, oh my God, we have placebo effect every single day. We're living in a placebo effect of some sort because of our beliefs, right? Oh, today is going to be a bad day. Today is horrible. Oh my God, this happened. My whole day is going to get ruined. Oh, your day is ruined, right? Or if we say, my day, it's going to be a great day. It's going to be a fantastic day. And then you have a fantastic day. It's all in your belief. It all comes down to what is your belief. And we have to watch our beliefs. And I'm going to talk more about this in a couple of weeks, because something really incredible has been happening with me and my belief system. And I want to share it with all of you because it's something that you can easily do, but it's literally turned my life around. You know, my life's been like this. So I always like to share with you guys, oh, this is working for me this time, because it might work for you, but I'll share in a couple of weeks what that is. And it's super, super simple. And then I was also going to ask you guys too, and I want to do a meditation. Or maybe Kelly wants to do meditation. I don't know. She always does such great ones. I feel like she's shaking her head. I also wanted to see if you guys want to talk about chat, GPT, or AI. If you want to learn some cool AI hacks, because, you know, you might be afraid of AI, and I'm kind of going off a little bit here, but AI is really a great tool to use that can help you in a lot of different areas, and not just like writing or anything. It can help you just when you're sorting through problems and you need, you know, kind of an unbiased opinion about things. AI can really help you a lot. Or with, you know, manifesting, AI can help you with that. Or with, you know, just kind of trying to problem solve something that might be weighing on you emotionally and you can't see a way out. AI can actually really help you with that. And I'm not saying, oh God, replace your therapist or replace anything with AI. You can't do that. But I do have some ways for you to get the best possible answer from AI so that you know, okay, this isn't something made up, or because it does hallucinate. Sometimes AI will say to me, oh, I'll get you that in 5 minutes. And I'm like, what? No, you won't. So if AI ever says that to you, if you're working on it, you go, no, give it to me now, because that's part of their hallucination. But let me know if you want to talk about AI. Probably knowing me, I'm just going to talk about it anyway, but but I don't want to. I want to do it if you guys want to. But anyway, so let's do a meditation. And this is my go-to meditation. And it's my grounding meditation. It's what helps me find peace in my body. And I've done it with you guys many, many times, but I want to do it. And we're going to do some positive affirmations as well in this meditation. So let's get ourselves comfortable. Make sure that your back is like nice and straight, no matter how you're sitting. Just make sure that your back is straight so that your airwaves are all nice and open. And we'll close our eyes, because I like to close my eyes during meditation just to close out all outside distractions. And we'll do some cleansing breaths right here, just breathing in deeply through your nose, pulling your breath deep into your belly, and expand your belly with your breath. And then slowly release your breath out your mouth as if you were releasing your breath through a straw. That's a lot of instructions, so we'll just do a couple more of those. Breathing in really deeply through your nose, pulling the breath down into your belly. Expand your belly as wide as you can. And then slowly release your breath out your mouth as if you were releasing it through a straw. And 2 more of those breaths at your own pace. And what this breath does to our bodies is it immediately stimulates our parasympathetic nervous system. You can start to feel calm creeping into your body. And with your out breath goes any tension or stress that you're holding on to. And whenever you're ready, I want you to bring your hands into prayer pose or gasho at your heart. And I'd like you to set your intent that you're open to receive whatever it is that you need most at this moment in time. And let us set our intent that we are holding space for all sentient beings. Whenever you're ready, you can bring your hands face up or face down in your lap. And just focus on your breath. And this is just a gentle breath, a normal breath, breathing in through your nose and either out through your mouth or out through your nose. But bring your attention to your breath, the feeling of your breath coming in through your nose. Maybe you feel it coming down through your throat, coming into your belly. But on your in breath, you always want to make sure that you're connecting to your belly. Just to make a connection for a second, and then slowly release your breath, either out your nose or out your mouth, whatever is most comfortable. And if you can't bring your breath down to your belly, just however far it can go, just expand it. And the reason we do that is our breath, when it connects to our belly, that's our connection to earth. It's our connection to grounded energy. So just by simply breathing in and feeling that connection at our belly, we automatically connect ourselves to the earth. Now, I'd like you to imagine there is a light in your belly. And with every breath in, that light gets brighter and brighter. And with every breath out, that light expands in your body. So you're breathing in, and the light at your belly grows. And you breathe out, and you start to feel that light coming down your legs and into your feet. As the light grows brighter and brighter within you, it starts to come up into your chest, into your heart, up into your shoulders, down your arms and into your hands. Imagine the light coming up into your throat, up into your head, until your entire body is illuminated with light. And maybe your light is orange or gold. Maybe it's yellow or blue. It could be green or purple. Maybe it's even just white. Whatever color you see, this is your own beautiful, unique light. As you breathe in and out, I want you to imagine this light, this beautiful inner light, growing so bright it starts to seep out every pore of your body. until you are engulfed in this light. This is the light of love, the light of peace, the light of joy. It is the light of connection. Your light is what connects you to the animals, to the trees, to other humans, to the universe. We are all connected to each other through our lights. And as you breathe in and out, just feel yourself growing brighter and lighter, more peaceful, more loving, more joyful. Allow yourself to expand in this light. This is who you are. You are not anger. You are not stress. You are not anxiety. You are love. You are the highest energetic vibration. I'm going to say these affirmations aloud, but you can just say them to yourselves, or well, you're on mute, so you can say them out loud if you'd like. But it is safe for me to be loved. It is safe for me to be happy. It is safe for me to be peaceful. It is safe for me to shine my light. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of peace. I am worthy of joy. So just allow yourself to soak in this beautiful energy of light. And if your mind wanders, just bring it back to your breath, bring it back to the light. Bring to mind an animal you love deeply. It could be more than one animal. You could be surrounded by hundreds of animals. But allow yourself to feel the love of the animals, their love for you. Allow their love to just sink into this light, into this space, and feel your light grow brighter and stronger because of their love. In this space, we are all connected, and we are connected in the energy of love. Allow your animal to help you feel that you are deserving of love. You are deserving of peace. You are deserving of ease, and you're deserving of joy. In this space, we truly start to understand that all is well. And whenever you're ready, I want you to bring your focus to your breath. But don't lose your connection to your light. Just keep your light around you and bring your focus to your breath. Start to breathe in a little more deeply. So you start to feel your body. And just give yourself a moment to focus on that feeling of love. Your animals love you so much. Their love is limitless, whether they're here with you or they've gone to the beyond. Their love is eternal, and they're always here to remind you that your love is eternal as well. You're ready. Bring your hands into Gasho, and let us give thanks for this practice, for being here, and for the animals that help support us every day. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes, bring yourself back. So hopefully everybody got a little bit of peace, a little bit of connection. One of the easiest ways that you can bring grounding into your day is just do that breath, whether you're breathing in, expanding your belly, and then slowly release your breath out your mouth as if you're releasing your breath through a straw. So that's a scientifically proven. There's many different studies on that breath, but it's really powerful. And it's something that you can easily do. The one trick that you want to keep in mind is that you want your out breath to be a little bit longer than your in breath. So you can count, you can say 2, 3, 4, expand, and then on the out breath, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then or 8 or 9, however long you can go, and then breathing back in. That is guaranteed to create calm and peace and grounding feeling, grounding energy into your body very easily. Super simple. It's not a Reiki breath, but it's, yeah, Darlene, exactly. It's, you can breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. You could hold for 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then release 2, 3. The way I was taught is kind of like that too. You breathe in deeply through your stomach, and then you breathe in once more, and then you release out. So there's many different variations. Even the 4x4, the square breathing, is a variation of that as well. But the most important thing is pulling that breath as far down as you can within your body and expanding where that is, because that's what creates that grounded connection to the earth, to your base, right? To that being solid. So thank you so much, everyone. Is it cutting in and out? I'm so sorry, you guys. Yeah, I'm having technical. I'm not sure what's going on here. I have a booster and everything, so I apologize if that was kind of broken up. I do need to record some of these, so I should do that anyway. And so yes, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you to all the new people that have come and have joined us. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Nancy. So glad that you're here and could join us. And next week again is Justin Stein. So even if you, thank you, Jill. Oh, Jill, I didn't see you. Thank you so much for coming. So even if you aren't, don't know much about Reiki, do come. And thank you, Kathy. Blessings to you too. Do come and watch Justin, because Justin is an incredible historian, and there will be time for Q&A at the end. And I know I have some big questions for him about Animal Reiki and Reiki, because in my mind, and I've said this before, Animal Reiki came before human Reiki, and I have proof of that. And Justin, whether he knows it or not, is going to actually prove that, because we're going to talk about it. And I know he's going to say, if what I believe is true, if what I've been told is true, then what will come out of this is you will walk away knowing that Animal Reiki came before human Reiki. And so that's going to be really exciting. I am excited. I hope that I turn Justin's thinking around. And Justin doesn't do Animal Reiki, so this is kind of cool that he's coming and he's doing that for us. So everyone, thank you so much. I really appreciate, I love this community. I get so emotional at the end of these calls because your energy helps make them so incredible. Thank you so much to Kelly for joining us. I just, Kelly, as all of you know, she is the SARA director. She helps us with all our membership and mentoring programs. And yes, this is being recorded, Bunny, and it will be posted on YouTube and also on Facebook. But Kelly is like my sister in crime. She's so close. And so I really appreciate when Kelly comes and brings her knowledge and her energy. So thank you, Kelly.
Always great to learn from you, Leah.
Oh, thank you so much. So everyone, thank you for coming next week, Justin. And then we'll talk about, I don't know, some other cool stuff. We might even kind of tap on to what Justin was saying and explore further the next week. So join us again. And in the meantime, have a beautiful week. Bye, everyone.